お、ワトソンがいる。
Holmes! Here!
よし、行ってみるか。
Ah, it's good that I've found you, Holmes. As I told you this morning, I've visited Captain Stenick. Although his symptoms are not serious, the circumstances which caused his palpitations are quite peculiar. Perhaps you can make something of it. Here is Captain Stenick and Sergeant Ruffles.
Captain, I understand from Watson you are quite upset.
Any man will be the same, and with less provocation. My servant has left in the middle of the night. Damned ungrateful after all I have done for him. To top it off, he knows not one word of English. Finally, if he causes any damage, I will bear the brunt of people's anger and suffer the consequences, as I am the person who brought him to England.
How long was he in your employment, and is he accustomed to vanishing in this manner?
We returned from Australia more than 5 months ago now. But to his credit, he never left this house before now. He is afraid of the city, as are many inhabitants from open spaces.
Could he have stolen something?
Upon my word, no.
How much money does he have on his person?
Frankly speaking, he didn't have any money. I kept his wages for him, and they are in my safe. In any event, what the deuce would he have a need for money?
Who knew that he worked at your home, and had he any contacts here in London?
Anyone who deals with me professionally knows Baopa is my personal servant. As for his contacts, they are limited to the delivery men who bring food or other items to my home. What reason could he have to see anyone other than myself?
Now then, Sergeant, what is it about, and what elements of the crime do you have documented?
Referring to the official report, the following particulars were taken down. A young Maori responding to the name Baopa was reported missing by his employer, Mr. Stenick. No one in the surrounding area saw or heard anything relevant to this incident. In truth, we rarely concern ourselves with cases such as this, but the lad speaks not a single word of English, and according to his employer, has considerable strength. Considering the wild customs of his native land, who knows what damage he could cause? You must know, Mr. Holmes, there have been a few similar cases reported recently. The facts are much the same. Immigrants from the poor districts have been reported missing by their families. We expect that some low-class brothel has opened its doors to the local exotics, and Mr. Holmes, you can imagine how word would spread. Mark my words, with his unique looks and speech, we'll find this boy in no time. I imagine he'll have nothing worse to show than empty pockets and a delighted air.
That is a possibility, to be sure. However, I would be most grateful if you could ask your superiors to send me the reports about those similar cases. I rely on you, Ruffles. Watson, continue your search here. I must follow another lead.
使用人が失踪しているという事件が起こったみたいですね。ここがそのマオリ族の使用人が使っている部屋ですね。この豪邸に比べるとだいぶボロ小屋、バラックみたいな感じですけどね。ここで手がかりを探します。
The lock was not cracked. Flaxen, yellow in color. What a peculiar drawing.
これは食事の皿ですかね。何か入ってるかな。
This appears to contain some measure of opium. I shall analyze it at Baker Street.
こうやって証拠となる物質を集めていって、で後でベーカーストリートの自分のラボで、その物質を解析するということですね。
Footsteps. Let's see.
誰か侵入した形跡があります。
The size is undoubtedly 7. The shoes are also hard-soled. The right shoe is missing a nail. Yes, there is something here.
何かあるらしい。
Footsteps.
何か落ちてるかな。
How strange. This appears to be a fish scale. I shall have to examine this more thoroughly under the microscope.
この上にあるものをちょっと調べに、向こう側に、フェンスの向こう側に行って調べてみますね。まあね、19世紀の話なんでね、使用人と言ってますけども、ほとんど誘拐してきた、奴隷みたいな感じですよね。
This should prove useful.
アイテムを使いますね。これで右上にはしごが表示されてますので、はしごを使えるということですね。ここに足跡がある。
Fibers. Why are they here? It will be necessary for me to examine this more closely at Baker Street.
じゃあ証拠集まったんで、自分の部屋に戻ってちょっとそれを調べてみましょう。
Come, Watson. We must return to Baker Street.
What do you make of this, Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Stenick, I wish my news were your servant simply left your employment voluntarily for the service of a more honest man. Unfortunately, I don't have that pleasure. In truth, the news is grim indeed. Your servant was seen in the company of 2 men yesterday. One of the 2 is a man of moderate size, very robust, and a mature age. His profession, which will be the key element in our investigation of this affair, will be determined by me within few hours. The other is a young Hindi who is tall and only recently arrived in England. There is a darker side to these events. Your man was not with them by choice. Rather, the evidence shows he was kidnapped. At this moment, the reasons behind this villainous act are unknown, but rest assured, the truth will not elude me for long. Gentlemen, I wish you a good day. Come, Watson, we must hurry. There's a great deal to do and little enough time to spare.
Holmes, I must protest. You did not spare my client, Captain Stenick. This seems unusually harsh.
That may be, Watson, but now what matters more is to know the reasons behind the kidnapping of this young aboriginal yesterday evening in central London, and more importantly, what has become of him. I must concentrate on a small experiment I will run to test my theories. Please go to the poor Lovelorn Barnes and ask him if he has something on the Maori nation and its traditions. Also, if you should happen to see the newsboy outside, find out what he knows, and if it has value, give him a coin. And for God's sake, don't be a miser, Watson.
A miser? You cost me one of my patients, and you question my level of generosity with your informers? Oh, really, Holmes, sometimes you go too far.
さあ、じゃあ早速、持ち帰った証拠品の解析をしてみましょう。じゃあまず布の切れ端から。
Very interesting.
メスで切り開いてみましょう。
The meatball ignited but failed to burn completely. There are, without a doubt, mustard seeds present, probably in exotic form. What could be the other components, I wonder? According to this monograph, the fish scale appears to be from a perch, a saltwater fish with high commercial and culinary value. These rope fibers are clearly hemp. Now, about the origin of these stains.
さあ、じゃあ次は薬品解析ですね。
Let's see if I can obtain a reaction with the help of my chemicals and apparatus.
じゃあ酸をかけてみようかな。
Perhaps if I apply heat? Incredible. I note a strong presence of opium blended with a concentrate of morphine. The remaining elements are a mystery to me. Let's see if I can obtain a reaction with the help of my chemicals and apparatus.
どの薬品を使おうかな。水でもかけてみる。あ、ソルベント、溶解液ですかね。
This is evidently coal soot mixed with water, and given the absence of any salt particulates, it must be fresh water. I should look from the window and see where Watson is.
There's a good lad. How does it go?
Hello, sir.
My associate, Sherlock Holmes, said you might have information for him about Now, what was it?
The Princess, Gav. He was looking for the scuttlebutt on this here princess what we visiting. Exciting goings on. Her bodyguard went missing the first morning after she got here. Nice job to look after a princess's body, innit, sir? They say he went out on the town having a go with the ladies, if you get my meaning. Like as not, he was trapped by some gang of toughs. Otherwise, who'd get the best of him? A proper giant he was by all accounts. Do I get me coins then, sir? Oh, thank you, sir. Obliged, I'm sure.
Good day, my dear Barnes. What about your...
Tell me, Dr. Watson, physicians are obliged to keep their patients' confidences, aren't they?
Of course. Whatever do you mean?
A moment ago, Mr. Holmes came to my shop and seemed very well informed about the details of my recent accident. You and I both know that there is only one person who knew about my condition, correct?
Sir, I can assure you...
No, please, say nothing. It is so easy to ridicule my despair. But I love her. Can't you understand? I love her.
Yes, indeed. In fact, I came here merely to see if you have a book on the Maoris.
Over there, on the bottom shelf.
どの辺かな。マオリ族の本を探して、あ、これだ。見てみよう。地の果ての人々。古代宗教のドグマにこんなものがある。人は広大な夢の中に生き、個々の夢は神聖な魂とのつながりを表す。マオリ族の精神の支柱は夢である。彼らは夢を見たとき、重要な場面をシンボルとして土に描く。シャーマンがそれらを解釈し、部族の生活について決定を行う。しかし我々の調査では、予言的な夢が報告されることは極めて稀であった。
I will take it. Farewell, Barnes.
さあ、じゃあホームズのところに帰ろう。こうやってマップを出してですね、でこれで一発でショートカットして帰ることができます。あれ？ホームズ、そんなところに。
Holmes, what on earth did you say to Barnes to put him in such a state?
Not now, Watson. Although I'm sure this bit of news is most significant, it must wait. We are piecing together a singular affair. This abduction story is much more complex than it appears. As I noted before, our next move is to locate the place of employment for one of the villains who abducted the young Maori. What part of London would such a man call home?
さあ、こうやって謎々が出てくるんですね。ワトソンが答えるわけですが、そのマオリ族の使用人を誘拐した2人の誘拐者は一体どこから来たのか、どこに勤めていたのかということですね。どういう職業の人間なのかっていうのを、今まで集めた情報から推理してそれをここに打ち込むと、皆さんも考えてみてください。わかりましたでしょうか。魚の鱗がヒントですね。答えは
Yes, Watson, there is little room for doubt. Our man is a bargeman who works at the Thames River wharfs. He is more precisely employed to transport and handle fish brought in by various ships. Our next step is obvious. We must find a cab and make haste to the Thames, near the warehouses.
テムズ川へ向かうみたいですね。そこに行けば何らかの情報が得られるかもしれない。
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
じゃあ早速行ってみます。
Let's go.